Okay.
You good?
Yeah.
Okay. So as Michelle said, I'm Nicole Metzel. I onboarded probably in one of the worst times of the year to really onboard. And I heard that a lot in that January, February, and March are really, really slow months. My background is in retail sales. So I was a sales manager for Verizon, and I left my job and I'm now in inside sales for an educational company. So I have quite a bit of experience with regards to marketing, product, making sales goals, things like that. And like most people, my goal is to be able to A, quit my job and do LuLaRoe full time, and B, cruise qualify. And so I found that the best way to be successful in my business is break that down into a daily goal. If there is X amount of dollars that I need to make that month, or I want to make that month, then I cut that down by the 30 days I have in the month or the 31 days I have in the month and break it down. I know that every day my goal is $400, and I track that every single day. How far I was from my goal, how over I was from my goal, and where I can move differently. When I see things that are working, so for example, if I, post in a multi, or I post an engagement post that got me a lot of sales, I track that on that sales paperwork so that I can see that this post or this type of post is generating a lot more excitement than something else that doesn't. And I think it really gives you an understanding into your tribe. So I'm a full believer that not all of us can cater to everybody. There are people that shop with Kier or shop with Michelle or shop with Isabel for reasons of why they connect with them and don't connect with me, and that's perfectly fine. I try to cater to my tribe. People will be attracted to you and they'll interact with you more, they'll become more loyal, and there's more than enough to go around, in my opinion. So I think overall, I've really tried to focus on branding myself. What do I stand for? What do I want to bring to my group? How can I build that excitement? Because they're people like me. And that's really breaking it down from the sales perspective and being able to, figure out who I am and what I do and why I do it is a way that I can connect with people and have them coming back repeatedly. I don't have a lot of shoppers. My group is very small in comparison. It's got about 1,400 people, less than 100 active, I would say. So not by any means do I have this blockbuster group that I'm able to reach out to, but I do everything I can to make sure that I reach them. In my day-to-day life, I wear Lula 24/7. Every day that I go to work, I wear LuLaRoe. People will ask me about my outfits. I will give them a card. Every time I go shopping or go through a drive-through and somebody comments on what I'm wearing, I give them my card. I sprinkle my cards like pixie dust all over town. If I'm in the doctor's office in a waiting room, I slip them in magazines. If I'm at the library, I slip them in books. To me, they are perfectly dispensable, and that is their job. Their job is to get my name out there when I can. And so I think a lot of times we're afraid to project what we're doing because we're afraid of rejection and we're afraid of being told no, and we're afraid that somebody might not listen. But in my opinion, the worst case that can happen is somebody takes that card, because no one's going to be rude to your face. They're going to take that card, they might throw it away, that's fine. But for every one person that throws it away, one or two are at least going to take a second look at it. So that's really what I do. I try to make it as transparent as possible that this is who I am, this is what's important to me, and I tend to attract those types of followers. Comments, concerns, thoughts? You're muted, Michelle.
I'm going to say a quick couple of things just looking at your your VIP page. Okay, so number one, and these are stupid things that most of us probably know, but just to reinforce like what could be making you successful as well. On your Mystery Monday, everybody that commented, you responded back to them. So you were giving them that personal attention and responding back to them, making them feel like you were paying attention. you have customers, even though you've only been around a short period of time, already posting pictures of their selfies to your wall, which is going to improve your Facebook algorithms because you've got customers just posting. And so they obviously feel that connection with you if they're posting their selfies and commenting. You have a post where they had to engage and you have 40 comments, which is 40 people comment on my post. You also made them use an emoji. So instead of everybody just saying the same word, so with the Facebook algorithms now, what people are saying is that it's going to increase your visibility if instead of saying this is a test, whoever sees this, say yes, 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 if people are putting different things. So that's why I did that. I did a Facebook post about who killed Cassie Monroe. And so everybody is guessing like Carly at the pop-up party with the mannequin. And so everybody's saying something different. So that's gonna, when people are responding, that actually gives me more visibility than somebody who's saying yes, 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 yes. So are the reactions and the emojis apparently. So you've done that really well. So that's gonna improve your visibility on Facebook. You're putting pictures of yourself and interacting with your customers and highlighting a style. I also really, really like that you must have already formed connections with some of your customers because they're adding people to your group and saying, hey, this is that group that I talked about. Stacia Matthews wrote that. So make sure that you guys tell your customers that if they're happy with the customer service that you're providing them or they're happy with your business, that the best thing that they can do for you is to refer somebody over to you. And I'll reward my customers if they send me somebody and that person ends up buying from me. You know, I'll send them. I had my husband go to Starbucks today. And so I get $50 of Starbucks gift cards, all in 5s. So, you know, I'll send them this and say, hey, thank you so much. I saw that you added Roxanne Castaneda to my group. I really appreciate it because my business works based on referrals. I hope that you enjoy this latte on me. And so, you know, if they end up buying something from me, I'll absolutely do that. And it just provides that personal touch. So I love that, you know, that people are already referring people to your group. So those are just a couple of things, just kind of scrolling through that I see that you're doing that I just wanted to people, you know, that might be helping you gain that success. So I really appreciate you sharing. Does anybody have questions for Nicole before we move on to Isabel?
Can I pile on real quick and
yes,
a question as well?
Go ahead.
So Nicole, I have been watching your comments since you joined the page, and I've kind of seen you go through this whole change curve of like, hey, I'm brand new, I don't know a whole lot. Hey, I've got questions. Hey, I'm a little frustrated. Hey, I just figured out, you know, you got to keep pushing. And I've seen you evolving as you own your business and as you work your business. And I think that's fantastic. One thing, there was that post on Pumped Up Chicks that really broke down the algorithm question. And I've seen a lot of people doing that, you know, this is a test thing or whatever. Remember too, that just liking the post is not necessarily helpful. It's the like emotional reaction, like love it or laugh at it or what have you. So I've seen a lot of people going like part way and saying like this post, but the emotional like reactions to the post, not just the like, is even better. So Nicole, as you have grown, what has been, like, what would you say was your turning point so far? And I think you'll have many as you continue on this, but what was that point that you reached where like, oh, okay, I'm starting to get this, where you turned a corner in your business?
There were actually 2 major points for me. The first was when I started being real with my group. So there were Mondays that I forgot to post the mystery post. There were times where I messed up. I owned it. If I was having like that crazy day where I'm like, look, this is what happened. I overslept and I spilled coffee all over myself and this is the hot mess that I look like. And I was honest with them and leveled with them that I was a real person just like they are. I realized that they engaged with me more. They understood. I wasn't this Lulabot. They felt a connection to me. They could level with the fact that I was a mom, that I was a person who worked a full-time job, that I was a wife, that I have other responsibilities, and that I have good days and bad days just like they do. And so that's when I started. And I think you're right. You get a lot more when beating the Facebook algorithm when people react to your posts. Well, when I tell them the crazy things that I went through that day, more often than not, I'm going to get comments about how their day was. I'm going to get laughs because I'm being honest and they're laughing at it and it's funny. I share those things with my group. I don't want them to think that I'm not human. I think the most important thing in sales is relationship building, and to build an honest and good relationship with your customers, you have to be human and you have to be real and you have to identify your shortcomings and you have to identify how you can relate with them. So that was my first turning point. My second turning point was towards close to the end of the month. I went to an all women's expo. And I was signed up as a VIP to hear Cindy Ratzlaff speak. She handles social media marketing. She owns a business primarily focused on driving social media marketing. And she's written a book, How to Be the Queen of Your Own Life. And she talks about in this branding, there can be 100 people in your town all selling red Toyotas. And at the end of the day, you have to stand out and you have to explain to these people why you're different. And she talked about really owning it and branding yourself and being empowered to be successful and giving yourself permission to be successful. It's okay to say, I did these great things. It's okay to say, I'm really good at this particular piece. And that confidence will radiate out in your business. And I think that was really the second turning point for me.
Awesome. Thank you. I went to the regional training and they were also talking about the word giveaway, just in the whole Facebook algorithm thing, that Facebook is giving less visibility to anything that includes the word giveaway. So avoiding that. They also talked about how PMing people can be part of the Facebook algorithm, like your interaction with others. If you never have any personal interaction with others and it's all solely based on your on pages or on walls, that decreases the algorithm because they realize that nobody's actually talking to you or giving you the time of day. So I don't know if you guys were on the Pumped Up Chicks webinar today, but the Pumped Up Chicks webinar today was about clienteling, and a gal named Katie talked about how she has individual communication with her customers and she clientels them. She clientels about 7 to 10 people a day, personally messaging them. I thought it was a great talk. So the Pumped Up Chicks webinars are recorded. If you did not get a chance to listen to that, it was short and sweet today. It was no more than a half an hour, so you could listen to it quite quickly. If you fast forwarded through the Brittany part in the beginning and just listen to Katie, you'd be done in 20 minutes. But she did an amazing job at talking about clienteling, and she's got a lot of retail experience. She used to be a retail manager before. So listening to her talk about that clienteling would also increase the Facebook algorithm by that one-on-one interaction by PMing. So look into that too.
Real quick, Michelle.
Yes.
I forgot to share this bit now that we're talking about this. At the expo I went to, when we were talking about social media marketing, one of the statistics that Cindy shared with us is that any post that you put that's just still frame, pictures, words, anything like that, has a 9% percentage visibility with regards to your group, which would make sense. I have a group of about 1,400. When I did an activity check, I was at about 100-ish, maybe 150. So it lined up pretty well, actually. When you use live video, that percentage jumps to about 30% visibility, which is huge. But one of the things she cautioned on is lengthy live videos. She said that typically purchasers will make a decision about whether or not they're going to stick through this video within the first 7 seconds that they're watching. And that's when you can really increase your visibility tenfold, because if they stay on watching, then it'll show up in their friends' news feeds.
No.
Cool.
You're getting water out of the tub.
I went live, and I'm sorry, I just made this webinar about Facebook algorithms. I apologize, but I went live, and the 10 people that were on my Facebook Live, the next day when I posted my giveaway post, they were the first 10 people that commented. And then when I posted something else, they were the ones that liked stuff. And so I ended up going back and seeing that it was the same 10 people who were seeing me repeatedly. And so my sales haven't like skyrocketed since I've done this, but I have noticed an increase. Um, I share the graphic with them about how my business thrives when they, interact with me and share me and all that kind of stuff. And I ask them to not respond to that post, but instead that I would appreciate if they would write a review or to share with us their favorite piece or to post a selfie or do something on my wall. And so once I had about 11 people actually post directly on my wall, I noticed that more people, when I went live that time, had visibility of seeing my live post. And the next time I posted, it wasn't the same people who were responding. I started to see names that I hadn't seen in a while. And so that's another great idea for a giveaway, is to actually ask people to respond, or not to respond, but to post directly on your wall. Or what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to offer people a small discount if once they get their item, they actually post their selfie and post it to my wall. And so I'm on my business card and just make that the business card that I pop in my packages. So it entices them to come back and post on my wall to increase my visibility and draw some new business. Alrighty. Anything else before we move on to Isabel? Anybody else have some great words of wisdom about Facebook algorithms if we went down that road? Okay, www.facebook.com/business was also recommended to me to research, and I'm actually hoping to haven't had a chance, but I'm going to kind of research that and see if I can find any really good data to share with you guys. And if so, I'm actually planning on doing a webinar next Monday about that, if I can, find the time to sit down and really figure out any great news. I don't know if I'll get anything great out of it, but I'm hoping I do. And if I do, I'll be glad to share that with you guys next Monday. Okay, Isabel, take it away.
Hey there. Sorry about my appearance.
Beautiful.
Oh, well, I got a concussion last Sunday, so I haven't been feeling too good for the last week. But anyways, I was a little surprised at what's that? Oh, somebody's on there. Somebody's doesn't have their thing muted and I can hear their children.
There you go.
Anyways, my sales last month was a little bit of a surprise to me also. When I onboarded last November, I'll be honest, I never anticipated selling that much in a month. I more did it because my kids are grown and I needed something for me for once. So I got introduced to LuLaRoe from a girl I work with. I went to her party that Dana was having, and that's kind of how I'd never heard of it until July, and here I am. And I just kind of fell in love, and here I am. So basically what I've been doing is I think about the things that I look for, like when I go on and I watch a live sale, or when I'm looking at people's albums, I think about what is important to me, like what interests me, what turns me off. And that's kind of how I think I've grown my business. For example, when I do my live sales, I do live sales every Thursday night, and pretty much faithfully, I have between 20 and 50 every Thursday night, 8 o'clock. People expect it, like Nicole was talking about. If you get into a rhythm, people expect it. And if you're not there, they're wondering what's going on. So when I do my live sales, one thing I always do is I always show them my outfit that I wore that day. And I always make sure I wear something different each week, just to kind of it's good advertising. I wear things, in different ways. Like today I posted a picture of myself with a Julia with a perfect. I use my body as the advertisement with the clothes, with our LuLaRoe clothes. And like Nicole said, I do the same thing. I wear my LuLaRoe every day. Obviously I take it off when I get home because I like to get in my t-shirt and sit around the house. But, I don't know that I really, honestly, Michelle, have anything in particular that I do to get me where I got me last month. Back in January, I decided that what I was going to do was book the fire hall here in the town that I live in, and I was going to do multi-hostess events. So each once a month, I have 2 to 3 hostesses per event, and they invite all their people.
Nice.
And I end up having anywhere from 40 to 60 people come and all shop in the same day. And that was what really boosted my sales last month. I sold like 80 pieces in one day. And then the next weekend I had a pop-up downstate, and I sold 48 pieces in one pop-up. So it just so happened that I had a couple of really big events.
Yeah.
And every Thursday night on my live sales, I sell anywhere between usually between 18 and 35 pieces every single week on my live sales.
Good for you.
You know, some of the people are local, but I noticed over the last few weeks, a lot of my regular people have started to add other people from out of state and people that I don't know. So like last Thursday night's live sale, I noticed there was a lot of different people on there. So I can slowly see where it's kind of seeping out. You know, I don't believe that this will be like my full-time job, even though my numbers kind of look like it a little bit sometimes. But I have help. My sister helps me. I call her my assistant, but it's a good friend of mine, and she works for Lula, and she's actually coming to convention with me. And, you know, so I have help. My husband, you know, they help me load the car. So it's not like I'm doing it all by myself. So I can't take all the credit. But I work a lot of hours. I work full time. I've been at my job for 26 years. So I have a state pension. So it's not something I can give up for another 8 years.
So I knew all of that. So not only did you do almost $12,000 in sales, but you did almost $12,000 in sales while working a full-time job.
Right.
Yeah, so that's pretty phenomenal. Can I ask you how many people are in your VIP group?
I think I've got 1450.
Okay. And you've got an amazing live turnout. Perfect.
Yeah.
Would you say that the majority of your sales are the in-home pop-ups versus online? Or what's your percentages? If you had to
I'm going to say, let me look at my thing. Like last month, most of them, I'm going to say, let's see. Well, one week I sold 150 pieces and about 45 of them. So I'm going to say about a third of my sales are online. The other 2/3 are the in-person ones.
Okay.
I have a lot of local people that come to pick up an order and they end up in the Lula room. So you know how that goes. I had a friend that lives in Michigan come over the other day, started FaceTiming with her friends back in Michigan. And next thing I know, she's walking out the door with 15 pieces.
Wow.
You know, one thing I do is in all my packages, and I know that to some people this seems little, but I think about how I look at things. I mean, it's kind of funny because when I watch a lot of the live sales, or like when I'm watching a lot of these talks and stuff, a lot of people are young. Like I'm almost going to be 50 in a few years, you know, and there's a lot of these people are in their 20s and 30s. So I've got a lot of life experiences, stuff like that. But I put something in every package. I go to the Christmas tree shop, and like right now with it being Easter time, I bought like 50 pairs of Easter socks. You know what? They're $1. And I pop them in the package, and people post those pictures on my page. And I write a little note, thank you for your purchase, you know, hope you enjoy your outfit or whatever. And I sign it. Nothing long, just something simple. And my friend Teresa ordered an Amelia from a consultant, and she got it in the mail today. And do you know what her text to me was? I got my Amelia and I love it, but I didn't even get a thank you note. Not a business card, a thank you note, nothing. You know, you don't think that those little things matter, but they matter. Those little things can build your business really fast, you know.
I know Rachel, I think, still puts a thank you note in every single package. If you guys are sitting around watching your favorite TV show at night, order a box of, 100 thank you cards. And while you're sitting there watching your show, just thank you, Dana.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dana. Thank you, Dana, you know? And then by the time you're done watching your show, you'll have 100 thank you cards to pop in there. So
Yeah.
when I said, like, sometimes you can just hear these little tidbits, I've been in this business now a year and a half, and I've never thought about having a multi-hostess in-person event. Like, I've done Battle of the Hostesses online, but never has it ever even occurred to me, like, to do something like that, to rent a hall and have multiple hostesses. Now I've totally gonna add that to my list, because I could make that a battle too, and then whoever wins gets an extra thing, and then that'll excite them more people. So
Well, you know, when you're dragging all that stuff out, and
might as well make the
you
most
know,
of it.
it's a lot of work. Make the most of it. You know, if I can have 3 hosts, and I only have about an 800 piece inventory. It's not like I've got thousands of pieces, but obviously it's turning over quite quickly. So I have that advantage that each time they come, it's different stuff.
Right.
And, but if you can haul it to one place and have 25 people come and shop, and you basically just killed 3 parties in one shop instead of dragging it to 3 different houses, it just, to me, it's
back to back.
Well, the hard thing is
you can hit that goal again next month.
What's that?
I said you can hit that goal again next month.
This month, well, I've got a pretty full calendar, but my goal right now is, when I first got in, obviously, like most people, you don't have that kind of money, so you have to, do whatever you got to do. So my goal when I started was to get my inventory built up, and I set myself a deadline to have things paid off. So right now I'm on target that hopefully by the end of May, it will all be paid off. So then I don't feel so pressured. But I think the other nice thing for me is that this is my fun thing. I don't have to rely on this to pay my bills, so I can make the most of it, and I can, have fun with it. And even if you do use it to pay your bills, you can still have fun with it, and people are going to see how much you love it, and it just keeps them coming back to you. Do you know what I mean?
Awesome. Does anybody have questions for Isabel? Anybody?
I mean, I don't have everything written down and have a plan. I just kind of, as I see what somebody else is doing, just silly things like putting things in the bags with numbers instead of using the little number cards. I just keep modifying what I'm doing to make it easier for myself, because I'm all about streamlining. I work in human services, so, it's all about streamlining, and staying organized is what's helps me the most. But last month was a real shock to me too. I was a little shocked when on there on the 30th. I was like, oh my God, did I really sell that much stuff? Right. I had no clue until the 30th, until you posted that post and said, about great numbers or whatever. I had no clue how much I'd sold. I never even looked.
Yeah. So it's pretty.
I don't pay attention.
Well, kudos to you, because that was awesome. I really wanted to buy like $300 of clothes just to get you qualified. And like, how she just can't be that close. I
know. Well, I'm realistic too. I won't lie, camping season's coming. So to do that 6 out of 8 months through the summer, maybe if I start shooting for it in September, then I might be able to do it. But through the summertime, I just don't see it happening.
Well, I
try to be realistic.
You can do that to suit your needs, and cruise qualifying is a great goal, but it's not everybody's goal. And that's okay. That's okay. All righty. Well, thank you so very much. The last person we're going to have speak is Amanda. Amanda had a really successful fundraiser recently, and I wanted her to talk to you guys about that and to share some of her tips and tricks and tidbits with you guys. So we're going to have Amanda talk, and then she's going to be our last speaker. We'll open it up for any questions, and then we'll end for the night. So Amanda.
Hello. My cat has decided to attack me. Okay, so I had 2 fundraisers this last month. I did Oh my gosh. Okay, sorry. Where's my kid? Okay, so I've had like a little bit of difficulty booking in-home pop-ups lately. It's definitely that like I haven't really tried that hard. So one thing I really wanted to do since my daughter started going to this dance class was have a pop-up at her dance studio. And I asked her before if I could do it, and she kind of like blew me off. Was like, okay, yeah, that sounds good. And then I tried to follow up with her, and she wasn't into it. But then I heard her talking, and they were raising money for a trip. So I approached her, and I was like, oh, what fundraiser are you doing, blah, blah, blah. And then I told her I could do a fundraiser for the girls' dance team. And she was excited, and she was all about it. So then we set up a fundraiser for her girls' dance team. I sold like 38 items there. It was pretty good, but she didn't know a lot about social media, so she didn't really like blast the event that well for me. But you know, the girls' moms that drop people off, like they shop. So 38 pieces, pretty successful. Then the week after that, I had a lacrosse. So my brother played lacrosse in high school, and my mom's still like a part of the team. She's like on the board or something. So I've known all these ladies that are involved in it, and I've really wanted to do something with them ever since I moved here last summer, because I just thought it was like a good opportunity. So I pressed them, and it took like months. Like I literally planned and worked this event for months because I planted the seeds a long time ago. I started realizing who the ladies were that were involved, and so I kind of like made connections with them, invited them over to shop, you know, told them about the fundraiser idea. Then finally we were able to put it into motion. I had to go to the board meeting for the lacrosse whole booster team and like make a presentation about what I could offer them for my fundraiser. So we finally booked it, got it set, and then we needed a place. The last time I did a fundraiser in like a public place, it did really well. I did it at this coffee shop that went out of business. So we were thinking of where to have it, and there's a new yogurt shop in town. So we approached him and asked if he'd let us use his space to set up the fundraiser, and he said yes. We didn't have to pay for that because it was a fundraiser, so he felt like a jerk trying to charge us. And it worked out so well because public pop-up places like that, like in really random spots that you wouldn't think are good places to have them, actually turned out to be really well. Because for us, I set up a lot of it outside and some of it inside. Was going to use the bathrooms too for changing and stuff. But what happened is that like the family, so we had it on a Saturday afternoon from 2 to 4, I think. Families stopped by, and their kids and husbands would go inside, eat yogurt, and then the moms would shop. So it was something for them to do. So it's not like they're leaving their families on a Saturday middle afternoon to come and do this. They're just, let's go get some yogurt, and then they shopped. We advertised the event so much. Like the people involved in it with the moms and stuff, they shared the event like a couple every day, at least every day. They shared it. I made it public so we could invite people. I did a giveaway post on it that was like, if you shared, like, commented, and shared the post, that you could win $25 Lula cash. So it was just like, my goal was to just like spread the word and get as many people to know about it as possible. Then we did the event, and it just was a really good turnout. Full on people shopping the whole time. I sold 77 things that time. It was like almost $3,000 in sales. Out of those 77 things, I sold 17 pairs of leggings. It was Madison's, Maxie's, Cassie's, Azures, like stuff I haven't sold in months. Sold. So that was really exciting. I didn't get a chance to even help a single customer because I just had to stand there and like cash people out the whole time. But then I did an online part afterwards. So total, it was $90. For fundraisers, LuLaRoe, it's like an easy process. All you have to do is you just email fundraisers@lularoe.com, tell them the event that you want to raise money for, and what they would use the money for. Oh my God.
Sorry, this is what happens when Amazon Prime Now delivers your velvet covered hangers to your door at 9:40 at night. I'll let myself know.
So you email them, then they email you if they approve it or not. And they have a fundraiser, LuLaRoe will match any amount that you raise in a fundraiser up if you get over $100 in contributions. The way that the fundraiser is staggered is it's wholesale prices, so anything under $20. Yeah, I think it's $20 and under is $1.50. then the tier is 21 up to, oh crap, I can't remember, but it's $150, $2, and $3. So pretty much like anything retail over 40, over anything over Julia gets a $3 donation. Then Julia's all shirts and leggings get $2, and kids leggings are the only thing that get a $150. And you just like tally it up. And if you can reach $100 in donations from those standards, then LuLaRoe will match that amount. So for my fundraiser, we were able to raise, I had it written down here. Let me find it. Well, I also donated a pair of leggings at the event too, and the lady in charge walked around and did a $1 raffle ticket for a pair of leggings, so they raised like $44 that way. And then I got $194 raised off of that level criteria from LuLaRoe. So LuLaRoe matched that amount. I donated another $25, so we were able to raise $414 for the organization, and it was really, really successful. So. And LuLaRoe was really easy to work with because you email them and then they email you all the files about fundraising, and super simple. So I just think that fundraisers are a really good thing to do right now because everybody was like raving that I give back to the community and that I was helping the team. And so they were really excited about that. Moms were buying stuff and they were like, oh, I never shop for myself, but it helps the boys, which is funny because it was really like $2. Like you're spending like $100 to donate like $5, which is kind of weird, but they like just love the idea that it's like helping their team and it's also for them. So, and it really got all the parents are so on board with like blasting it and getting people out and getting people involved because it was really important to them. So that's why I'm kind of working on the fundraiser curve right now because there's a lot of pop-ups and a lot of LuLaRoe hostesses, so people kind of don't feel like so inclined to like purchase from your LuLaRoe party anymore because they've been invited to like 20 this week. So if you can like find something or like a group or organization where it's like they really want your money, then they are like super willing to help you promote it because they want to have the most money for their fundraiser and stuff. So it was really good experience. And then I like learned that there's a couple other people, because I live in a small town, so there's like a couple other organizations that were like they're doing LuLaRoe fundraisers now. Well, not with me, of course, because they probably knew somebody that did it, I know. But like the other branch, like the girls department is doing one and stuff. So, I mean, it's cool though, because it's helping out the business and company. And, I'm going to reach out to a couple other people this week about more fundraisers because I'm super into them right now. And that's pretty much it. You're muted.
What were your total sales for that event?
It was over $3,000. I can't remember exactly, but it was 90 pieces like total, and that's the most I've ever sold, like ever in my whole Lula career. I've never sold more than like 60 was my last highest thing that I've ever sold. So that was really exciting for me.
Cool. I remember with Katie May, the fundraiser gives you another way to approach people without having to be pushy about a home party. Like Katie May said a long time ago, she would ask people like, oh, do you want to earn free clothes? And if they were like, she was like, oh, well, do you have an organization that you support? Because I'd love to do a fundraiser to help you raise funds for your favorite organization. And then if they were like, well, not really. We don't really have any charity that we support. She'd be like, oh, well, that's great though. Because my husband and I, we support Wounded Warrior and we really, really, really like that charitable foundation. So maybe we could do one and give the proceeds to Wounded Warriors. And she was like, and by the time I've now told them like the fourth time, they're not going to be like, no, actually, I don't want to give money to Wounded Warriors, So fundraisers definitely give you a different venue to get to people. There are so many ways. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to post a post on our team page just with the topic fundraisers to see if we can kind of all come up with different people that we could potentially approach for fundraisers. So dance teams, lacrosse teams, baseball teams, church mission trips, that kind of thing, so that we can kind of give each other some ideas of whom we might be able to approach about fundraisers. Also, the Pumped Up Chicks fundraiser page is kind of a little bit nuts right now, but there is a Pumped Up Chicks for a Cause fundraiser page that we are able to utilize. So they do sales on Wednesdays and Saturdays, and they've already got a customer base of a couple thousand people. And, when the page first started out, I used to sell and do pretty darn well on there. but I'd like to talk to Brittany about kind of getting it back to the way that it used to be, because it's kind of dwindled a little bit. But there are about 2,584 people in the group. And so at any point in time, if you guys want to utilize that group, you can do a team multi and invite other people from our team or Pumped Up Chicks to actually utilize that group to do a charitable fundraiser. So, so if you're interested in that, Kelly Ryan from Pumped Up Chicks is one of the ones that runs the page. So you guys can contact her about scheduling. There's also a planning page if anybody wants to be added to that planning page in case you do want to sign up, because there's actually a sign up right there. So if you're interested in using that page, let us know and I can get that taken care of for you. Anybody with questions for Amanda? Sorry about my dog. Oops. Did not mean to share my screen. Okay. All right. So if nobody has questions, we are good to go for the night. And I thank you guys for all getting on, and for Amanda, Isabel, and Nicole for sharing with us. And reach out if you need me. See you later. Take care.